Eritu ano to obunaru fata aniro anna fatadam. Eritu ano to obunaru fata aniro anna fatadam.
Boaz came and found me in the village one morning. He said, "Manto toke no bikabu nim yarite." My wife, Toke, has an evil spirit. Do you begin all your conversations this way? I asked him. I'm just kidding. I don't remember exactly how I responded to him, but it was probably just something like, can you come to our house and pray for my wife so the evil spirit leaves her? He asked me. Oh boy. I didn't know what to say. I hadn't started teaching yet, and I couldn't predict the implications if I were to go versus if I were to tell him no. I did know that Jesus talked about an evil spirit being cast out and then returning to the same house clean and swept. And then it brought other demons with it, and things were worse off than before. So even if I could successfully cast out a demon for the first time, without Toke hearing and believing the gospel, receiving the Holy Spirit, what would stop this demon from returning and making things worse? But maybe God wanted to do something cool to give credibility to the message I was about to share. Maybe in saying no, I would be missing a chance for God to show off. This was the instantaneous debate in my mind. Where is she? I asked. I followed him back to their house. It wasn't far enough away. I needed more time to think. But time was up. I was standing at their ladder. Toke was inside the house, sitting alone by the fire, just muttering nonsense to herself. Toke, mo naina maridi na yawen taunamare ati danima ye. Toke, is it okay if I come up and pray to God to help you? She didn't answer me. She just kept muttering nonsense to herself. I looked at her husband, not sure what to do. He was watching her carefully. I pointed up the ladder so as to ask him, is it okay if I go up? He motioned with his hand for me to just wait a minute. And then Toke started yelling and throwing things against the walls of the house. That made a crowd gather. After a couple minutes, Toke seemed to calm down again, and I looked back at Boaz and waiting for his permission to go up into the house. And as I looked at Boaz and away from her, a large walk flew past my head and landed on the ground between Boaz and I. Then Boaz shook his head at me. Soabe mata. Maybe later. I wasn't going to argue, but I also didn't want to wuss out either. I could just stand here and pray for her, I told him. He said, yeah, go ahead. Good idea. So I lifted a hand toward Toke, and I started to pray. But I was quickly interrupted by yelling. Toke was now standing and pointing at me, yelling something that I couldn't understand. When I prayed, I didn't pray for a demon to be removed or attempt any kind of exorcism, but I prayed something like this. God, when it's time for me to share your talk, would you let Toke hear it, understand it, and believe it? The best weapon I had, I decided, wasn't some kind of exorcism, but to give Toke a chance to hear and believe the gospel, a chance to be indwelt by the Holy Spirit, and then the Holy Spirit could take care of the rest. I finished my prayer quickly and walked away. She tried throwing other utensils at Boaz and I, and the people who were watching started yelling at her. I left the house a little bit disappointed, but also thankful that I didn't get hit in the head with this walk. I didn't even know if she had an evil spirit. Was there a blood test? How was I supposed to know? Once again, my missionary preparation fell short. There were some moments that made me wonder. She never demonstrated superhuman strength or spoke in the tongue of Mortor, but she often had a vacant expression and would not respond when you talked to her. And sometimes she was violent. She also loved taking her clothes off. We had visitors once. Our Kiwi friends spent a few weeks with us in the tribe just to give us someone to hang out with because we were alone. It was a great time. But on their first day visiting, they met Toke. We were all still inside the house, still giving them the tour, when Toke walked into our house unannounced. She was topless and smiling. Then she proceeded to give us all hugs. Lakin looked at me without a smile. I tried to guide her out of the house, but she kept hugging everyone, including our new guests. Then she grabbed a guitar off our wall and tried to walk out with it. I gently took the guitar back from her and carefully guided her towards the door. And then I shut the door and locked it. And that's our local crazy lady, I said as we continued the tour. These types of moments made me think that Tokei just had a type of psychosis, maybe, not demon possession. There was nothing sinister that time. It was more funny than scary. But other times she wasn't as funny. One afternoon she wrapped a t-shirt on a stick and then lit it on fire as a makeshift torch. She ran towards our house's LPG gas tank, trying to ignite it. And she had a desperate look in her eye, like she had no choice. That wouldn't just burn our house, I tried to tell her. It would blow you up as well. Thankfully, there were quickly men there to restrain her, and then those men posted a watch on our house that night so she wouldn't try it again. Another day, I had a ladder against our house so I could get up on the roof and repoint our satellite dish. When I was inside the house, Tokei snuck up the ladder, and when I found her, she was sitting on top of our thousands of dollars worth of solar panels. I couldn't force her down. We were about 2 stories up high. Thankfully, I talked her down, and she kind of went down the ladder and just wandered off. She didn't answer me. She just left. Most of the time, she was just annoying. If we'd forget to lock a door, she'd barge in. Always topless. That's how she got the nickname Boob Lady. Annoying? Yes. Great for the kids to see? Probably not. But demon-possessed? I don't know. I did try to find out once. Another missionary suggested that people who are demon-possessed might have 2 voices, since there's another being in there. One morning I walked out of my house, turned around, locked the front door behind me, and I saw Tokei sitting under our house alone. Oradabari, I said to her, "Good morning." Nothing. She still stared straight ahead. I walked past her, and then I came back. May as well try the test. The test was this. If there was a demon in there, ask its name. It might respond with a different voice or with its own name, and then you'd know. In hindsight, I wouldn't do it again. I had no idea what kind of dangerous game I was playing, and I hope it's clear that I didn't know what I was doing. I rarely did. I think my actual job title is Blind Fumbler Through the Dark. So then I also decided that if she had a demon, that demon would probably speak English. So I got close to Tokei's face and I said in English, "What's your name?" She stared blankly, not making eye contact, no response, and I waited. Nothing. So I tried it again. In English, "Tell me your name." Nothing. No response. I walked off. That was it. And sometimes Tokei was normal, friendly even. Other times there were men following her around to make sure she didn't destroy things or steal things, hurt people. The good news is God did answer that prayer that I prayed. Years later, Tokei did hear the teaching, understand it, and believe it. She was able to answer all 70-something of my pre-baptism questions in the interview. She understood well what Jesus' resurrection meant for the community, for herself. And I wish I could say that she was healed. For months after her baptism, she never had any more episodes. But while my family went to WeWack for a break, she had another one. Not as violent, but she still neglected feeding her baby. She still destroyed people's things, stole some things. And she would still respond with nonsense speech when you were to speak to her. My best guess, there's something neurological going on that gives her episodes of temporary psychosis. So if you pray, take a moment now and pray for Tokei. Because from here, I'm not sure what else I can do.